So oftentimes whenever we are talking about the solution of marriage, that is divorce, under the Nigerian law, one of the questions people usually ask is, does this process only apply to dissolution of statutory law marriage, that is court marriage? And if I am talking about dissolution of statutory law marriage, my answer would be yes. And in our previous videos we have been talking about dissolution of marriage, and that applies to marriage under the statute. That is what most people usually refer to as court marriage. Yes, but now the question is, how do we dissolve customary marriage? How do we bring to an end a marriage that was contracted customarily? Over here in Nigeria, we call it traditional marriage. That is the marriage that was not contracted at the registry, at the marriage registry, the one that is not court marriage. So how do we bring such a marriage to an end? If the parties say, oh, we are no longer interested, we want to bring this marriage to an end, how do we do that? Do we go to court just as we do in dissolution of statutory law marriage? The answer is yes. Now, dissolution of customary marriage can be brought to an end in two ways. First of all, before I mention the two ways in which such a marriage can be brought to an end, for the benefit of others who are not Nigerians or people who do not really understand what customary law marriage is. Customary law simply means traditional marriage here. A marriage that is contracted under the native law and custom of a particular people. And this, for instance, here in Nigeria, customary law varies from one place to the other, from one state to the other, from one tribe to the other. The customary marriage of the Yoruba people is not same as customary marriage of the Igbos, or customary marriage of the Ibibios, or customary marriage of the Ijos. It differs from place to place. So now, moving on to the two ways in which this customary marriage can be brought to an end. I said it could be brought to an end in two ways. The first is judicially, and the second is extrajudicial. So the first one being judicially is by going to court. Which court? Customary court or the magistrate court. So one may ask, is it the same thing as when we're going to the high court for dissolution of statutory marriage? Almost the same thing, because you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt also that your marriage has broken down irretrievably. You have to state grounds upon which your claim is based. So the same way we have grounds for dissolution of statutory marriage, we also have grounds for dissolution of customary marriage. You have to prove beyond reasonable doubt before the court that this marriage has broken down irretrievably. So you can dissolve a customary marriage in court, that is the customary court or magistrate court. And then the other way, which is extrajudicially, is by maybe returning the bride price, depending on the custom of the place which the marriage was contracted. Like I said before, every tradition has its own unique way of bringing a marriage to an end. For this tribe or for this custom, it may be gathering the people who were present when the marriage was contracted and having the dowry returned.